Hello, I'm Mike Stone with Brentwood Flooring America, your trusted flooring source in the Triangle. I want to talk a little bit about carpet today, some of the features and benefits of carpet in general and some of the technical aspects of carpet. Not to get too deep, but carpet in general, you've got several different styles. You've got everything from a cut pile carpet such as this. We have a cut and loop product such as this carpet here, and then we've got flat loops and something like this in a wool that's can very commonly used on stair runners and that sort of thing. But real quickly, just want to reference what a cut pile carpet is, and basically that is just where the fibers have been sheared evenly or fairly evenly at the mill as the product is being produced. Then if we go over to a cut and loop product, you have both fibers that have been sheared as well as loop piled fibers there that create a lot of texture and a different kind of feel, a little more movement in the product and visually. So not really an advantage or disadvantage from one to the other, really a personal preference. Cut pile products are commonly known as more of a traditional carpet material, and then your cut and loops are a little more contemporary, in most cases, shorter piles, and have become much more popular here in recent years. Disadvantages, or not really disadvantages, but some of the features or how each of those products react as they're lived on. Your cut pile carpets are a little more forgiving, hide seams very well, so that's some of the benefits in your cut pile products. Your cut and loop products, we also have loop pile products alone. Those products tend to show footprints, and there's less movement in the pile itself, so that's some of the benefits to that. Your cut and loop products allow you to have the texture that I mentioned earlier. Then we have, if you go into something like this wool product here, which is what we call a level loop, and so it's going to be much less movement in visually as well as texturally. This particular product is wool, so there's a lot of density to it with a natural fiber, and which brings me to my next thought, and that is to just talk about fibers for just a second. Years ago, there used to be a lot of products made out of olefin, which is a very, very durable product, very little movement, but it's not used as commonly today because it's not as user-friendly. Olefin would be really rough to texture to the touch, whereas the products today are much, much softer. So we see many more carpet products in a nylon fiber. We also have polyester. The polypropylene fabrics have really come about as of late. Technology has allowed the manufacturers to do a lot with color and movement in ways with polyester that didn't used to do a few years ago. So those products have become more and more popular because of that, and are very easy to maintain. So they clean well and show very little traffic and hold up well. Your nylon fibers have always been known as products that stand up well to traffic, and probably most common in carpet products today. Then you get into some specialty products such as this wool, which is a natural wool is a natural fiber, which has a very good cleanability story, just a unique way that you have to go about cleaning them. So we get into the technical aspects, and if you're shopping at a big box store, you will hear a lot about face weight. Face weight can kind of be a misnomer. It's basically the weight per square inch in the material that is developed the carpet. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the higher the face weight, the better the product. And a lot of your big box stores will use face weight as a selling aspect, people thinking that the higher number means it's a better quality carpet. That's a misnomer. Face weight you can have just as good, if not better, product based on the performance you're expecting, even though it might not be as high a number. So don't just make your carpet purchase based on a face weight number. It does play a role, but not as large a role as you might perceive. One comparison would be a higher face weight nylon carpet that is it really depends on how it's being used in the home, what type of space it's in, what your expectations are. The higher face weight product is going to have a higher pile in most instances. So you're going to have a thicker product, which may not be good in a room such as a bonus room, where you want more of a level loop type situation with a little more texture and less movement in the pile itself. When we get into more technical aspects, you'll see things or hear people refer to twist rates, and there's a lot of reference to that on the web. Twist rate is basically the number of the twists in the fiber before it's cut, sheared, or looped per square inch. And what that equates to is the feedback that you get in the fiber. In other words, if you're stepping on this carpet, your higher twist rate is going to provide a little more feedback, and therefore in the long run will last longer in terms of compacting in high traffic areas. Again, that's something that too much attention can be given to, but you want to be aware of it when you're making your carpet purchase. So your cut and loops, or even just short pile loop carpets, are becoming very, very, very popular because they're considered to be a little more fashionable today. A little more texture, more up-to-date styles, such as the one I've got here. This is a cut and loop, and you can probably see the texture that's in this product, and it just creates a different visual than what you can get out of a traditional cut pile product. So as time has gone on, the technology has been developed, and we're seeing more and more popularity in these types of products. I want to talk just a second about how to care for your carpet. First of all, the manufacturer is going to require that you have it professionally cleaned within every 18 months that you have the carpet. If you were to have an issue, manufacturing issue with the product, the first thing they're going to ask for is your cleaning receipts, and those must be provided in order to validate your warranty on your carpet. Secondly, I want to just speak real briefly about vacuum cleaning and how to care for the different products in your home. If you have a really soft fiber, really thick, high face weight carpet, the softer it is, the more suction is going to be provided in that carpet when you're vacuuming. And what I mean by that is the softer the fiber, it's actually going to pull up into the vacuum. That can be both good and bad. When you're talking about vacuum cleaners today, oftentimes there is so much suction that it's impossible to move them on the carpet. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's cleaning any better. That's just a function of the vacuum cleaners and how they're being sold. So you want a vacuum with a high pile carpet, especially if it's a really soft fiber. You want something that's going to be able to move across the fabric and actually suction your dirt and so forth from between the fibers up into the vacuum. So too strong of a vacuum can create a problem, and therefore it won't be a good vacuum to clean your product with. If you've got a short loop product, a cut and loop product like this one right here, we highly recommend that you do not use a beater bar. The loops in these products today, you don't want to pick those, and you want to be as careful with those as possible. They're very easy to take care of. They actually vacuum very well. You just don't want to have a beater bar or the roller on the vacuum cleaner going up against these loops in the products, as they will pick over time. Let me talk a little bit about pets and high performance products. We have a large number of those products in our showrooms. Oftentimes they're going to be labeled with pet footprints and so forth. Those products are going to be very stain resistant. The technology that's used for this in the manufacturing of carpet today is unimaginable. We even have waterproof carpet, if you can imagine that, in the sense that the backing prevents water from going through to your subfloor or cushion. So be sure to speak with us about the type of pets you have in your home, so that we can best fit the carpet to your needs in your home for durability and serve the purpose of your pets as well.